Hi, my name is John LaBrosse, Mayor of the City of Hackensack. I'm excited about a new program we are starting with CGI Digital. They work to spotlight communities like ours with professional videos right on our website. They get the word out to as many platforms as possible so residents and visitors can see and support the community. And for many businesses, getting noticed online and utilizing video dramatically improves their digital presence. If you have the chance, find out what this program means to you and our community. And be sure to check out our videos when they go live.
Come and join the City of Hackensack for our annual golf outing this June 8th. Enjoy a day of fresh air, friendly competitions, and beautiful views of the lush green fairways of Black Bear Golf Club at Crystal Springs Resort. With challenging holes, exciting contests, and plenty of prizes, there's something for everyone. Swing into action and register today at hackensack.recdesk.com. We look forward to seeing you on the green.
Learn to fight dragons.
Pain. Love it.
Let's get started.
You should come by sometime to work out. You look like you work out. I guess it's just you and me, huh?
No, just you.
Huh?
Focus, Hiccup.
Can I transfer to the class with the cool Vikings? Whoa. Has anyone ever tried to train a dragon?
No one's ever lived to tell the tale.
It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. Let's see if this works. We're gonna take this nice and slow. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Whoa! Yeah!
Get down!
It's okay. You just scared him.
I scared him?
Everything we know about them is wrong. Let me show you.
Either we finish them, or they'll finish us.
Fire!
We don't have to fight them. Whoa. Go, baby!
No matter how this ends, it ends today.
What are you gonna do?
Something crazy.
I'm in.
Me too.
Sign me up.
I love this plan.
Go.
DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon.
Shrek Fiona!
Donkey! This summer,
Everyone has turned out to honor Princess Fiona and Shrek. Look, here comes Sleeping Beauty! Oh!
I hate these ball shows! Flip over to Wheel of Torture!
you are cordially invited
Dinner is served!
Everybody dig in.
Don't mind if I do, Lillian.
to meet the family,
It's easy to see where Fiona gets her good looks from.
make new friends,
Pray for mercy from...
a bullet,
If we need an expert on licking ourselves, we'll give you a call.
and discover what happens
Shrek and Donkey on another whirlwind adventure!
after Happily Ever After.
Now, where were we?
Donkey!
DreamWorks Pictures presents Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, and Antonio Banderas.
Shrek?
For you, baby, I could be.
Shrek 2.
Give me that bop!
Donkey, you're a...
Stallion, baby!
I am Puss in Boots. Holy frijoles. Hey, Giant! You want to see something cool? Gracias, the legend will never die!
Puss in Boots, you died.
I have 9 lives.
And how many times have you died already?
No, Puss in Boots doesn't need a spotter. Watch. Watch. A cat always lands on his feet. Watch.
You are down to your last life. Mama Luna's always on the lookout for a new lap cat.
I am no lap cat. I am Puss in Boots.
Not anymore.
Meow.
Meet Pickles! This is a person party, Pickles. That's your party.
So this is where dignity goes to die.
Living my vida loca. You don't look like a Pickles.
Well, you don't look like a cat.
Full disclosure, I'm a therapy dog. Wanna rub my belly?
Hard buzz.
Oh.
They found me. Goldilocks and the 3 Bears Crime Family.
Make her talk.
Excuse me, my darling. We're looking for the legendary Puss in Boots. Have you perhaps seen him?
What's a Puss in Boots?
He is me. Kitty soft paws, I need your help.
Whenever I team up with you, things go wrong.
Cool! Another member of the team. I'm Puss's therapy dog.
Definitely not.
Finally, you need therapy.
Oh, I have got to learn how to do that.
Lives flashing before your eyes.
Pray for mercy from Puss in Boots. Espresso.
I don't trust you.
Trust me.
You gotta trust him. Look at those eyes.
You call that cute?
And with the paws. Am I doing it?
Stop. You're gonna give yourself a hernia.
Hey, you! Get over here. Oh, I know what it is.
Hi, my name is John LaBrosse, Mayor of the City of Hackensack. I'm excited about a new program we are starting with CGI Digital. They work to spotlight communities like ours with professional videos right on our website. They get the word out to as many platforms as possible so residents and visitors can see and support the community. And for many businesses, getting noticed online and utilizing video dramatically improves their digital presence. If you have the chance, find out what this program means to you and our community. And be sure to check out our videos when they go live.
Come and join the City of Hackensack for our annual golf outing this June 8th. Enjoy a day of fresh air, friendly competitions, and beautiful views of the lush green fairways of Black Bear Golf Club at Crystal Springs Resort. With challenging holes, exciting contests, and plenty of prizes, there's something for everyone. Swing into action and register today at hackensack.recdesk.com. We look forward to seeing you on the green.
Hi, my name is John LaBrosse, Mayor of the City of Hackensack. I'm excited about a new program we are starting with CGI Digital. They work to spotlight communities like ours with professional videos right on our website. They get the word out to as many platforms as possible so residents and visitors can see and support the community. And for many businesses, getting noticed online and utilizing video dramatically improves their digital presence. If you have the chance, find out what this program means to you and our community. And be sure to check out our videos when they go live.
Come and join the City of Hackensack for our annual golf outing this June 8th. Enjoy a day of fresh air, friendly competitions, and beautiful views of the lush green fairways of Black Bear Golf Club at Crystal Springs Resort. With challenging holes, exciting contests, and plenty of prizes, there's something for everyone. Swing into action and register today at hackensack.recdesk.com. We look forward to seeing you on the green.
Hi, my name is John LaBrosse, Mayor of the City of Hackensack. I'm excited about a new program we are starting with CGI Digital. They work to spotlight communities like ours with professional videos right on our website. They get the word out to as many platforms as possible so residents and visitors can see and support the community. And for many businesses, getting noticed online and utilizing video dramatically improves their digital presence. If you have the chance, find out what this program means to you and our community. And be sure to check out our videos when they go live.
Come and join the City of Hackensack for our annual golf outing this June 8th. Enjoy a day of fresh air, friendly competitions, and beautiful views of the lush green fairways of Black Bear Golf Club at Crystal Springs Resort. With challenging holes, exciting contests, and plenty of prizes, there's something for everyone. Swing into action and register today at hackensack.recdesk.com. We look forward to seeing you on the green.
Hi, my name is John LaBrosse, Mayor of the City of Hackensack. I'm excited about a new program we are starting with CGI Digital. They work to spotlight communities like ours with professional videos right on our website. They get the word out to as many platforms as possible so residents and visitors can see and support the community. And for many businesses, getting noticed online and utilizing video dramatically improves their digital presence. If you have the chance, find out what this program means to you and our community. And be sure to check out our videos when they go live.
Come and join the City of Hackensack for our annual golf outing this June 8th. Enjoy a day of fresh air, friendly competitions, and beautiful views of the lush green fairways of Black Bear Golf Club at Crystal Springs Resort. With challenging holes, exciting contests, and plenty of prizes, there's something for everyone. Swing into action and register today at hackensack.recdesk.com. We look forward to seeing you on the green.
Hi, my name is John LaBrosse, Mayor of the City of Hackensack. I'm excited about a new program we are starting with CGI Digital. They work to spotlight communities like ours with professional videos right on our website. They get the word out to as many platforms as possible so residents and visitors can see and support the community. And for many businesses, getting noticed online and utilizing video dramatically improves their digital presence. If you have the chance, find out what this program means to you and our community. And be sure to check out our videos when they go live.
Come and join the City of Hackensack for our annual golf outing this June 8th. Enjoy a day of fresh air, friendly competitions, and beautiful views of the lush green fairways of Black Bear Golf Club at Crystal Springs Resort. With challenging holes, exciting contests, and plenty of prizes, there's something for everyone. Swing into action and register today at hackensack.recdesk.com. We look forward to seeing you on the green.
Hi, my name is John LaBrosse, Mayor of the City of Hackensack. I'm excited about a new program we are starting with CGI Digital. They work to spotlight communities like ours with professional videos right on our website. They get the word out to as many platforms as possible so residents and visitors can see and support.
Everybody ready? Everybody ready?
We're up to committee's reports.
All right, we did the roll call, we did the flag salute, so it's up to you.
Just before, I just want to remind, because we did have a closed executive session, as usual, prior to the start of the COW, during that closed executive session, we did discuss one ongoing litigation, a workers' compensation matter involving a Mr. Walker firefighter, James. And that was the only case we discussed.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Ready?
Ready? First up is we have a presentation by Mr. Josh Cohen from the Shade Tree Committee regarding the proposal for a tree removal ordinance on private property.
Hello. I have some slides already.
I was going to grab the slides. I did not grab those. Sorry. One second. There seems to be two here. Which one?
There's just one, is it PowerPoint?
One's an application, one is this one's PowerPoint?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Cool.
One second.
There we go. All right, so this is our tree proposal ordinance. Great. So why do we need an ordinance? Hackensack Shade Tree, we believe the city's tree canopy is at risk. Why do we believe that? Last year we removed 69 trees. We had a $6,000 budget. It's been $6,000 every year. I've been doing this for the last 3 years. It hasn't increased. So that lets us plant about 24 trees total. So we're removing 69 street trees, and we planted 24 last year. We think the threat also comes from the removal of healthy trees on private property. This is also a way of helping to fund street tree planting. The city will protect trees from being removed on public property, so you can't remove a street tree in a park, you can't remove a street tree on the street, but there are no protections for trees on private property. We have building and zoning laws to help control development and put restrictions on buildings, but there's nothing to protect the loss of our green resource. And this isn't unique in any way. Other towns have faced similar challenges and have enacted ordinances to preserve their trees. What we were looking at mostly was Ridgewood and Leonia. We felt like they had pretty well thought out ordinances. If you go to the next slide, we can start talking about that. Cool. So like I said, our current ordinance prohibits the removal of trees on city property. Our proposed ordinance addresses the removal of trees on private property. We're suggesting, this is only targeting healthy trees. It would not target sick trees. You could waive for a sick tree, you could waive for dangerous trees, you could waive for replanting a tree on your own property. This is if you remove a healthy tree for, you don't like where it is, you want to put a fence up, you're building development on a lot, that's what this would apply to. And we're suggesting $350 to remove the tree, or for a replacement fee for that tree. The $350, the city is still subsidizing the cost at $350. It's about $250 to $300 for the cost of the tree. And then you have to send people over there, we mulch it, you have gas costs, so we're still subsidizing at $350. If you go on, we have some more details, please. So how does it work? We have a property owner or contractor doing tree removal. They would apply for a tree removal permit. The owner pays a nominal filing fee. We wrote 20. It's whatever, however we want to organize that. And that goes to a tree replacement fee of $350 also. And that's you pay that at the time that you file. And obviously, we can do this. We can implement this in a lot of different ways depending on what works operationally. So in lieu of the tree replacement fee, the property owner can plant a replacement tree on their property. And as I mentioned earlier, for dead, dying, diseased, damaged trees, the tree replacement fee is totally waived. You just have that nominal filing fee to cover paperwork costs. And then along with that, you would submit a waiver. We're suggesting you get it signed by a licensed tree expert. So you have an arborist come over or whoever, and we can give you an assessment that tree's not safe and it needs to come down. Next slide, please. Yeah. So no tree removal permit required for any tree that's imminent safety risk. You would just have to basically take a photo, submit it as documentation that it had to come down. You don't want, if a tree is dangerous and in imminent need of removal, it should be removed. This should not hold up the process at all. Importantly, the funds from the tree replacement fee, they get applied to the cost of purchasing and planting trees within the city. Like I mentioned, we had excuse me, a $6,000 budget last year. If we get 10 tree replacement fees, that increases that budget by more than 50%. So, this can help significantly. And Arbor Days Foundation suggests all tree ordinances and any ordinance have some teeth to it. So a person found guilty violating there should be a fine associated if you don't get the permit. I think that's it. Is there more?
That's it.
That's it. Yes, that's the whole thing. Again, it's just a suggestion of a way to increase our budget. To plant street trees, we removed 69, we planted 24. There's a big gap there. I think there's a number of ways we can start to address that gap, but this is one of the suggestions, and certainly, like I said, not unique to the area. We're looking at other Bergen County towns what they have to address this.
Thanks, Josh. With the other towns, how do we police this? You have to kind of catch people in the act of taking their tree down. So.
Yeah, there is that, and I think you need to notify the companies also. When I get it's the same way like getting a fence permit. Not everyone does it, but when I got a fence, they knew Hackensack requires this, and they applied. But it's not too much different than something.
Because that's a lot of times that's an issue with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or then people are in the middle of it and they say, I had no idea. Whatever, the tree now is down. How do you know it was? I say it's not healthy. So I think there's always issues around these types of things. But I think you bring up a very good point. If the tree is causing damage or if the tree itself is unhealthy, it's not subject to this. It's that if we're casually taking away from it. Any other questions?
I just have a quick question, Josh.
Yeah.
The conditions for the new tree. So what are the what if somebody can it be any tree that they want to plant on their property instead of?
Yeah, so we forwarded some sample ordinances.
Okay.
Ridgewood, I think, has a 2.5-inch requirement. This fee, what we're suggesting, it says in the ordinance, would only apply to 8-inch diameter breast height trees. So you measure a tree by the circumference at breast height. This would be 8 inches, which is like this. If you're taking down smaller trees, it wouldn't apply for anything like that.
Okay, so you wouldn't have to replace it with the same exact size?
No, yeah, it's like I think Ridgewood did like a 2.5 inch, and I think Leonia is similar. So that's pretty much what we plant on the street also. And those are, somewhere from 200 to 400, depending on what species you're getting.
Thank you.
Do you know, or does anyone know, is there this $20 fee, et cetera, that you talk permit that you're talking about? Do we have that now?
No, right now you can cut down anything.
So right now, nothing is required?
Nothing,
so,
yeah.
Okay, all right, so, anybody else question?
Did someone send me, I don't remember seeing a model ordinance, because obviously I would need to review that, so did you send it to me?
Yeah, it's in, I think Allison has it, I think.
I don't have it.
Jack, and then I can forward it.
Yeah, just make sure, because obviously when I'm reviewing ordinances, it's easier not to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
And look at what others have done and sometimes take the best of multiple ordinances into our own. So the more models you can give me is something I can review and talk to you further about.
Yeah, I can definitely do that, and that's basically what we did. I mean, word for word, we're pretty much using Leonia, and a couple ideas from Ridgewood also. Ridgewood had a $500 fee. Leonia was $350. 500 is actually probably more accurate on how much it costs to replace it. So.
All right, I think we'll take it under consideration. Send the information to Steve. I mean, I think it sounds like an interesting idea, and seeing that it's working well in other towns, there's no reason not to look into it. So thanks for your hard work.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, next up is a presentation regarding a resolution on tonight for cannabis cultivator Trachoma LLC.
So I just want to briefly say that, as you know, we have 2 cannabis cultivator licenses available. Trachoma has come in with an application, so they're going to briefly speak to you about what they're about, and you can ask them any questions that you might have.
Thank you for that. I actually I don't need a PowerPoint, I'll just do extemporaneously up here, but I do have a few copies that if council would like to take a look at it while I speak.
And I should add that they also responded. Every applicant for a cannabis license from the city presents a questionnaire in order to have the city's team that reviews these cannabis applications consider the necessary information. They did supply that information to us, and I should also add that we did have a discussion with them among the team that reviews and vets entities that come in and are seeking a cannabis license from the city. So that includes the city manager, the zoning official, myself, the redevelopment director, and a few others who did have an opportunity to meet with them. Sorry about that, you had a little train issue. It's a big one. And get a sense of who they are and make sure that they seem to be able to be in a position to effectively operate a cannabis establishment safely and successfully within the city. So that already previously happened, which is why we came to you with a recommendation for the resolution of municipal support that you'll be considering at the regular meeting tonight. So, feel free.
Thank you, Mr. Clement. And in light of that, I'll be as brief as possible. My name is Ryan McGee. I'm a partner at the law firm of McCarter & English, and I'm here tonight speaking on behalf of Trachoma LLC. We are seeking a Class 1 cultivator resolution of support from the city. A little bit about Trachoma. It is a minority-owned business. It is pending minority business certification with the state as we speak. Working in the cannabis space, one of the places where you see potential shortcomings often are in 2 places. The ability to build out a state-of-the-art facility, and then also the substantive cannabis experience behind the operation. And I believe the leadership team behind Trachoma checks both those boxes. First, I'll begin with Jose Arias. Jose's here tonight. He's the owner of Trachoma. He is also the owner and president of ABBA Construction, since 2007. He operates daily in the highly regulated construction field, works in project management throughout the tri-state area. He is well versed in facility build out, and I think he would serve Hackensack well. And to boot, he also has a master's degree of science from NYU. Additionally, the second member of our team is Joel Perez. He's our COO. He's here as well tonight. Joel, aside from being partnered with Jose in their construction endeavors and separately a development company, Joel satisfies that second box in terms of substantive cannabis experience. Joel is the owner of Cloud9 Farms. It is a Colorado cannabis operator with a 38,000 square foot cultivation facility that spans both indoor, outdoor, and greenhouse spaces. Generally speaking, produces approximately 20,000 pounds of cannabis cultivated per year. Joel has experience in grow techniques, strain varieties, plant genetics, odor mitigation, and the lawyer in me likes the regulatory side as well. Experience in things like waste management and quality assurance and record-keeping compliance. That's our leadership team, our ownership team. So next, let me mention the property itself. 286-290 Lodi Street here in Hackensack. It is a property that is currently under contract. Cannabis cultivation is a conditionally permitted use in an established cannabis cultivation overlay zone that has been established by the city. This location at 286-290 is located squarely within that CCOZ overlay zone, which otherwise is also an M2 zone as well. The facility itself spans approximately just shy of 20,000 square feet. It has sufficient off-street parking so as to be consistent and compliant with section 175-13.1B. And of course, the company will intend to comply with all bulk, height, and setback requirements if it's able to proceed following today. There are a number of steps that would follow a resolution of support. This is, I like to characterize this as sort of a step one, so we'd be happy to go into greater details. But at a high level, chief and most important for any cannabis operator is its security. And aside from all the compliance measures that are required by the state, I think the point I'd like to make tonight is that the company would intend to partner with the Hackensack Police Department and have them review and approve any security protocols or plans that are proposed, which would include giving the police department access to the facility, an emergency contact individual, and also the ability to monitor the site 24/7 if needed. In terms of community, we anticipate that this Class 1 cultivator could generate approximately between 30 and 40 jobs for the city. And the company would, of course, prioritize local vendors throughout that process. It would facilitate the direct hiring of local residents and engage in diversity hiring initiatives. Not to bury the lead for the council, but also there are tax considerations here as well. As you are well aware, a cannabis transfer tax entitles the city to 2% of gross receipts. And above and beyond that tax, transfer tax, there's also tax ratables associated with putting this property into the proposed use. The company is also prepared, willing, and intending to make charitable givebacks to the community as well. Among other things, donation to parks and playgrounds with an amount of $5,000, and other funds earmarked for various charities and nonprofits. The company would welcome the input from the city as to where that money would be best spent or donated to. And last, I think another concern that we hear often are environmental concerns. Tricoma is built to be a green company, and it will implement green initiatives into its SOPs that will ultimately be reviewed and approved by the state of New Jersey. Those would include recycling practices, use of biodegradables whenever possible, LEED certified vendors to be used, water conservation measures, and lights and HVAC timers and sensors to conserve energy in that respect. Like I mentioned before, a resolution of municipal support is very much sort of an initial step in this process, and during a process that will likely result in a lot more conversations and hopefully questions and more hopefully answers to those questions. So for tonight, for our purposes, the company is requesting a resolution of local support in support of its proposed Class 1 cannabis cultivator at 286-290 Lodi Street. And the company looks forward to becoming a strong community partner and a good neighbor, hopefully, for years to come. Thank you.
And I just want to add, since we approved cannabis a couple of years ago, there is one retail facility license that was claimed many months ago and is on Route 17 and is in the process of moving forward. We did previously have a couple of resolutions of municipal support for the 2 potential Class 1 cannabis cultivation licenses that we awarded, but ultimately they never went anywhere because of issues securing property in the appropriate zone. One of the benefits to the redevelopment in Hackensack has been increased property values, but it has also made it more challenging to locate space within the zone. So this is the first group that has come in a long time that has been able to present to us and say, hey, not only are we interested, but we are capable because we can secure a location in the zone, which is, not a particularly large area, which was intentional because we wanted to keep these sort of facilities away from residential areas, from churches, from playgrounds, from schools. So there's limited places that we could put it where we felt the impact would be as minimal as possible while still, obtaining the revenue. So they were the ones who have come to us and presented a proposal that, actually demonstrates that they have the property, not just a letter of intent, but from what Ryan is saying, an actual contract. So I think that's important to understand. It's been a long road to try and get someone to come in with the ability to actually proceed forward, and they're the ones who have come to us with this proposition.
Thank you very much for coming. It's an area where we have been trying to bring some new business into. Some of the businesses they are, have been struggling or suffering. So, and the proximity to Route 80, Route 17, for transporting and receiving supplies, I think makes it an ideal location for such types of business. One question I have is, and again, I was very happy to hear what you said. Of course, you're going to comply with everything the planning board would have to say, and reviewing all complying with the standards that are put in place for that particular zone. But when you mentioned your facility, the facility that's relative to your company in Colorado, you mentioned outdoor and greenhouse. This particular facility, everything would be done within the building. Is that correct?
This would all be indoors, and that's also required for compliance with state regulations as well.
Okay, so just again to make sure 100%
Absolutely.
that, and happy to hear that you're considerate of the environment, and I think when you go through planning board, a lot more detail will be given to those types of things, incoming and outgoing products, and how everything is handled in the interim, trash, et cetera, as you mentioned. But all in all, this is something that the council had approved and improved in a particular zone. So we wish you well, and it looks like you have the experience and you have the knowledge. So I think you're a group that I would recommend supporting. Councilman, Seth, Councilwoman, any questions?
I have no questions.
Derek?
The hiring, I see you said about local hiring. Has that been a standard practice with your company?
So thank you, Councilman, for the question. So I can't speak specifically to the practices out in Colorado, although I'm happy to consult with the company. But what I can say is, as part of the state application process, the state requires a plan to be submitted that talks about a workforce and hiring plan. We're able to submit a diversity hiring plan as well. And once that is submitted to the state representing these types of commitments, the company is held to those commitments, and the state regulatory body checks back in to ensure that that's the case. So to the extent that the city would like to sort of inform some of those decisions and commitments that are being made, we would welcome that, and we would submit it to the state and be obliged to follow that for the years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next up, there's a resolution on tonight for appointment to the Community Development Committee, which will be Chris Wheaton, our city engineer, and Ryan Westra, our Project manager, this is just a formality and a change of the appointments to the committee because Chris is now on board. There's also a resolution on tonight for a commemorative street naming, which is honoring the Jamaican community and will be One Love Way at the corner of Anderson and
Trying to remember Anderson.
Union. Anderson Union. Couldn't remember the cross street, I'm sorry. Also on is a resolution regarding the Bergen County Fire Mutual Aid Agreement, which we had some discussion about previously. And last but not least is the CSO and Stormwater Parks update. Call on Chris Wheaton, our city engineer, to do that.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Getting started with our presentation. Our overview shows some updates in blue here. Clay Street 2 and 3 contracts have had an extension of time due to unforeseen conditions and some coordination and scheduling of the subcontractor issues. Stuyde Park had previously been shown completion in April. We did start enforcing liquidated damages the end of April. That contractor is making good progress, and I'll show you where we are with that project. Carver Park is also in blue. That was previously showing in September. That's been updated to October to reflect the additional work that was required to address DEP Green Acres site assessment requirements. Clay Street Contract 2, what you're looking at on the right is a completion of the closure piece to connect the large box culvert there to the existing culvert that was installed previous contracts in a previous contract at Camden Street. So this piece is basically the final block in the chain for this pipe, so we'll start seeing some immediate improvements to the drainage from upstream through this area. The contractor is just wrapping up at this time. The entrance to Fashini Park, as you're looking at here, is now open. It's gravel at the moment, but it will be paved within the coming days or a week or so.
So does that mean the east side work is totally done? Is there anything left yet for this particular outfall?
The east side,
close to the river.
That would be, yeah, this would be, I mean, there's still some east side work with Clay Street number 3 contract. But basically, when we say
east of Maine, let's say
east of Maine, yes.
Right, so everything from that particular portion would now be complete once you pay it.
So the main entrance to the park is now open?
Yes, as of today.
As of today.
Okay.
Yeah, just today it was open.
Yeah, yesterday was closed.
Yesterday was closed. So
you mentioned the delays in the other parts. So where are we seeing the delays?
The delays here were attributed to additional sewer pipe that had to be installed due to a change in grade that was detected as the contractor was working. So there was about 200 linear feet of pipe that was added.
Whereabouts is this around?
That was towards the end, really the connection point.
Here.
Yeah, just up. Yeah, we were gonna. The original contractor was gonna maintain the last portion of pipe to the circular outfall here, the 42-inch outfall.
On the prior slide, you said 2 are now delayed. Where are the CSO, the Clay Street CSO, phase 2 and phase 3? You said we're still in the delayed phase, right?
There's an extension of time that has been granted or requested by the contractors for Clay Street 2 and Clay Street 3.
And is this east side of the rails? Where we're doing the work that's being delayed?
Clay Street 3 encompasses both sides of the rail. It crosses to the west side for a portion of the work.
Both pieces. And what about going under the rail?
That work is now scheduled. We'll get there. That work is now scheduled to start the week of June 5th. the preparation for that crossing of the pipeline.
I've been having a number of complaints in that Park Street area because it seems like there's been staging there and there's just been such a vast and constant noise and pounding. So are we moving away from that, or is this still going to continue to impact that area?
We are moving away from that. The piles that were there for staging for construction, the stone that was placed there, that was used in construction.
Like, these are the complaints we get, is the noise and the constant pounding.
Right. My understanding.
Are we finished with that point?
Almost.
Okay, so we're not done.
Almost. Pretty close. Pretty close.
Just that we've been there for a while, and I think folks are starting to really.
Yeah.
The weather's been nice, and people want to be outdoors, and it's not in the best shape over there. So.
Yes.
The sooner we can clean that up and move forward would be helpful.
Absolutely. No question there. I'll give you a little bit more information when we get to that slide. Just to point out here on Clay Street 2, we are going to be adding a safety. So the work will be completed, but there will be some minor work on the Toyota property to add a safety rail into the top of the head wall there. As you see, it's rather tall, and that is just about level with the parking area at the top. So we want to make sure that there's a safety rail installed at that location. Next slide, please. So Clay Street 3, we are continuing to install the 48-inch pipe along the east side of Railroad Ave. That's just about complete. Next week, the contractor will be moving on to make preparations for the Jack and Boar crossing of the New Jersey Transit Railroad. So the latter part of next week, they will be installing the jacking pit on the west side, and then the week after, the jacking of those pipelines will commence. So that'll be the week of June 5th, as presently scheduled. There were some delays attributed to the subcontractor. They had some work that has gone on for a period more than they expected. They're doing, I believe it's on the Garden State Parkway that they're currently engaged. So they had to hold us off for another couple weeks. The curbs and the sidewalks have been installed in some portions of Clay Street and Park. And we have done temporary pavement where possible, just to keep the dust down and the noise down, and try to make restorations to the community as best we can with this active construction site. Next slide, please. The next slide, there we go. The next slide is the Voorhees Lane Pump Station project. There it is. As we have discussed, we've been working with the contractor to resolve their approach to site conditions there. We have responded to their change order proposal. I understand they have been responsive to that, to our proposed agreement. We expect that they will be returning to work next week. We have relocated the overhead power lines required for them to do their new excavation, which will entail sheet pilings of 45 feet deep. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing that project.
Come to terms with the dollar amount with them?
Just about. Just about.
Can you give us an idea of where we are? Approximately? Oh, we're in the red, we know that, but I haven't.
I guess I'd prefer to wait till they start.
Okay. That's fair.
I think that's why.
Yeah,
the first estimate was out.
The understanding is that they are prepared to sign our proposed settlement. And so next slide, please, Frank. So with our parks projects, STIVE has been long awaited. We've had some Reasonable progress in the last couple weeks with the impetus, of penalties that the contractor is facing. The rubber surface was completed last week. Grass has been seeded and is starting to grow. Temporary mulch, the rubber mulch in the bottom left, has been placed around the west side playset. That playset we expect to replace later in the year. So the rubber mulch, the permanent rubber surface was not installed at that location. And there are some punch list items that we've been waiting on. The electrical the site was energized by PSE&G today, so we're ready for the electrician to power the site. And yeah, there's a few punch list items that are being communicated to the contractor. The fence around the site is going to be removed tomorrow, and the site. You want me to get him? Everybody can still hear. So the fencing will be removed. The building itself, the restrooms, will not be opened until we have a CO for the site. We do expect that work to be able to be completed. We're continuing to await the contractor's schedule, but we're informed that the plumber will be there to correct one punch list item, and as I said, the electrician will be there to complete the check on the electrical. There we go. Thank you. So yeah, we're getting very close to completion. As I say, the outdoor will be accessible by this weekend or by the end of tomorrow.
Chris, what is the estimated time that the building can be opened? Is it just a few punch list items that?
It's a couple of punch list items. So yeah, there's only 2 items inside that, I guess in addition to the electrification, that they were concerned with. So they should be able to be remedied quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And then the other structure that we're going to replace, how long will that area be down for when that work occurs? And can that be done in the winter?
If we want I expect that we're going to do a rubber surface like we have for the east side playset, so that cannot be done in the cold weather. Depending on when we want to proceed with this work, it depends on the availability of the equipment through the state contract, which we're proposing to procure through. And so some of the schedule will be determined by the availability of the equipment for installation. The downtime for that particular play area, I'd have to go back and check my notes. I don't recall it being, very long. Once the equipment is there, it should be a matter of maybe a month.
And we could just secure that area, not the whole park, the other park.
Just for that area, we should not have to, we can close off just that area and not impact the rest of the park. Other park projects, Carver Park is, bid opening is next week. The contract awarded hopefully at the next Council of the Whole meeting. And that contract, again, does have an incentive award to encourage an early finish. Johnson Park, we will be receiving bids for the earthwork site preparation contract tomorrow, and we are proceeding with the design for the facility as a whole. Phase 1 being just the, you know, the field house itself, not the addition of amenities such as a kitchen or a meeting room. Fashini Park, we are, I'm not sure if council received my update late this afternoon. We are proceeding with the permit submission. It's been awaiting BCUA sign off on the permit, which should happen later this week at their public meeting, and the permit package will be submitted to DEP shortly thereafter. The anticipated construction for Fashini will be in the fall, and indications are that that will fit within the.
No, I'm shaking my head because, you know, I've been told so many times, you know, we submit the plans, oh, we need to, it's just story after story about Fashini Park. And I just really like to know the bottom line. Are we actually going to start moving forward with this? I mean, they tell me, you know, the plans had to be approved. Those plans been approved a while ago. I seen the core samples being done last year. I seen all this operations going on, but yet, you know, I keep hearing, oh, now it's going to be the fall. Now it's going to be this. What's the bottom line?
Well, I can't speak to the past.
Well, the past is not that far. I mean, we just, you know, it's just been recent, all the stuff that's been happening.
As long as I've been preparing these presentations, the completion for Fashini anticipation has been early 2024. That's what's shown on the status, construction status schedule at the beginning of the presentation.
Completion early 24.
Completion early 2024.
And that's just the 3 fields?
That's for the 3 fields, 8, 9, and 10.
So that work should not be too long then, like that, it's 2024, then it shouldn't be that long to do.
Correct. Yeah, I understand, I sympathize with your point. I believe the schedule of activities through the summer for the use of the fields precludes us from constructing during the summer, that those fields are heavily used throughout the summer. So that's why construction has been targeting for the fall. As long as I've been involved, I don't believe we've ever been talking about a spring period for construction at Fashini, or a summer period for that reason. As I say, my understanding is that the expectation is it was later this year that work would be done. I'm happy to backtrack further and respond to whatever concerns.
So if there is no summer program at Fashini Park for those fields, can things be moved up?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
And for what reason?
Because
haven't solicited bids or we haven't awarded?
we need the permit from DEP to commence construction. There was initial design work that needed to be done to prepare for that permit. The drainage for the site had to be laid out. There are new outfalls that have to be located and the like. I expect that there'll be a 30% set of drawings circulated for Fashini Park within the next week or two, and that will be just to confirm that 30% for these fields 8, 9, and 10, just again to confirm that everything is as the council and the rec department would like with regards to construction, the plans for the plans for renovation of 8, 9, and 10.
Chris, did we know that do we anticipate that we need BCUA approval, or did that, I knew?
I can't speak to that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's it. Anything further on parks?
That's okay.
Most likely, yeah.
Next slide. Yeah, okay. So paving projects are continuing to progress on Summit Avenue, and with the 2022 city resurfacing award, the streets that are included are listed there, and because of school schedule and the impacts to school buses, the bulk of that work for the 2022 city resurfacing program is now planned to start after school is complete. So just Roland will be paved presently, and the other streets will wait to be paved later in June. The concrete work, the ADA ramps and the like, curbs, that is progressing on the 2022 project as well. Next slide, please. Moving on to the Atlantic Street Garage and Main Street Streetscape. With Atlantic Street, actually this will clear up in a second. The new entrance facing Atlantic Street for the garage is being poured this week. There was new concrete. The concrete is being poured presently. The top deck membrane coating is complete, and the sandblasting and preparations for the membrane coating for the overall garage and remaining decks is being done.
Do we have an estimate to complete on this?
Completion was
So right now, only the first level's open, right? The garage, the parking?
Primarily, I think at times the second level has been open, but I'd have to check with Ryan on specifically which decks are available. But we're anticipating completion in June, so next month this project should be complete.
Of everything, the entire decks?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Main Street Streetscape, the street furnishings are scheduled for delivery later this week. We do have PSE&G conduit connections have been made, and electrification of the infrastructure is occurring presently.
And that's all that's left down here? I mean, the trees are...
That's all that's left there. I believe I'll have to check with Ryan on the trees.
Albert, do you know, are the trees in?
They are. We need to replace, I think, 6 or 7 is the walkthrough that we did with John Peters.
Yeah, we gotta keep an eye on that. I've never had this problem before. We had Sabelli doing it, and the trees were just not a good quality.
Yeah, those 6 or 7, those were from prior contracts, right, Albert?
No, some of them are new down near Atlantic and Sussex. They're
We gotta keep our eye on that, especially, some of these, we only have a guarantee of so long, so we have to get in and make sure that they're covered under the contract and get them in place.
Yes. Yes, understood. We want to make sure that...
There were some other ones even uptown, right, Albert, that were
Correct.
close to the year?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to miss out. I mean, trees are expensive. We had someone come in and talk to us about trees. So we have these guarantees, and we just don't want to sit back and and let us run out of time.
Agreed. That's our role, is to make sure that the contractors adhere to the contract and that they adhere to the guarantees and the warranties in the contract.
Yeah, because some of them don't really look too good.
Yeah. And just to wrap up, the city's expansion for the John Earl Building will be advertised for bids later next week, and that's underway. There's about a 6-month anticipated construction period for that project. We are also bidding next week the roofing projects for 3 of these buildings: the Civic Center, the Fire Department, and the John Earl Building. That roofing contract will be coming out.
I want to say hallelujah for finally making progress. I mean, this is something, how many years now? Penny, how many years?
Too many.
That we've been waiting to get this started.
And that concludes my presentation. If there, I guess, I just wanted to add on to Josh Cohen's presentation on the tree removal ordinance. The fact that the city is losing as many trees as it is, it sounded to me like you're losing about 40 trees a year or so. Trees are very important for stormwater. They're important to prevent global warming or climate, warming locally. Not, it's hard to measure on the macro scale, the world scale, but certainly trees, are a big part of keeping the city cool. So I would say that I support personally, that sort of a tree removal.
We also we're in agreement 100%. But that's why my concern, and we're totally frustrated with Main Street trees, because it was very important to us to have trees in our downtown. And it just seems we've just been burnt every step of the way with either what we're supposed to couldn't get, they replaced them with trees that really weren't what we had envisioned them being, and many of them really were not good quality trees, and we're still fighting that battle, so it's very, very frustrating.
I'll look into that further.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. Any comments for Chris? Anybody? Thanks again, Chris. We appreciate it. All right, with that, can I have a motion to open to the public?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg. Council Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Anyone who would wish to speak, please come forward, give your name, and everyone has 3 minutes, but we really appreciate we're already eating into our council meeting time, so we could be brief as possible. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening, Marty Smith, Prospect Avenue.
Good evening, Marty.
Good, thank you. Several months ago, we asked the council why there was a delay in completing the crosswalk project for Prospect Avenue. Mr. Caruso initially said that it had run out of money, but on further investigation, he said that it had not run out of money. Therefore, I would assume that there is money left in the budget that was set aside for this project to be done. Has the council decided as to when the final stage of this will be done, which would require a crosswalk to be installed on Atlantic Street and Prospect?
So we're looking at the corner of Atlantic and Prospect.
Atlantic and Prospect.
Well, I mean, that's really up to Vinny. Where are we with that, Vinny?
I've been working with Ryan from engineering, from our engineering department, to try and get an update on when that's going to actually take place. I don't have a date specifically for you now, but I'm working on that, as well as the Polyfly Road issue. I reached out to the county. I still haven't gotten a response back from them. I'm going to follow up with them again sometime this week.
I really don't know what the delay should be if there is money left in that budget that was set aside, and we've been getting no definitive answer as to when this will be completed. I think it's overdue. Item 2, several months ago we asked whether or not city patrol cars are equipped with protective shields. Mr. Caruso at the time said he thought some. Again, after further investigation, he said no, none of them are so equipped. This is not a frill item. This is a necessary item in the event our officers are called to an active shooter situation. And this is protective device, just as a fireman wears a protective equipment or has a hose. This is needed for them to be safer in their response to these situations. So we hope that the city will consider moving forward and purchasing these for our patrol cars. Item 3, last month I brought up the question of moving violations in the city of Hackensack and who sets the fines for these violations. Our city council, legal counsel said that those fines are set by the judge. With that answer, am I to assume that all moving violations have to be adjudicated in court, whether or not the defendant is contesting the violation or not contesting the violation?
Repeat the question, sorry, I had an email coming.
I'm sorry. I said last month we discussed moving violations in the city of Hackensack and who sets the fines. And you said that it's the judge who sets the fines.
Correct.
So based on that, my question was, am I to assume from that all cases have to be adjudicated in court, whether they are being contested by the driver or not being contested?
No, not every case. You know, there are some moving violations, particularly what's called Title 39 violations. So there's a difference between a violation of our municipal code, you know, say a U-turn or something that's in Title 39, and there's this uniform violation schedule that you can go to the municipal court, and there is a standard penalty for many of the most common violations. So if you wish to plead guilty, you know what the fine is, right? I mean, if it's written on a parking ticket. If you get a parking ticket in the city, it's going to say, you know, the fine is whatever the fine is, and it's fixed and it won't change. Then there were certain violations where the fine may be dependent on what the municipal judge determines. So it all depends on whether it's on a municipal violation schedule, which fixes the penalty or not.
But does the violator have to appear in court?
No. If you wish to plead guilty, in most of those cases, you will not. Sometimes it will click court appearance required. You know, there are certain, you know, like a DUI, you can't just plead to. You're going to have to show up in court. It's going to say court appearance required. But if it's, you know, your everyday type of a violation, then you can agree to pay whatever the fine is on the standard form and just plead guilty. And, you know, even online, you can pay a lot of these things. There's a website called NJMVC Direct. You go right on that, you know, you enter your ticket number, you pay the fine, you pay a credit card, you pay a $1 or $2 fee on top of that, and, you know, you're done. So, again, it's on a case-by-case basis. If there's a specific example of a violation, you know, we can look up and we can see, is it on the schedule or is it not? And then at that point, you know, you could determine, you know, what the circumstances. And again, sometimes you have to show up in court, but the ticket will say, it says right on the ticket whether or not the court appearance is required.
Mr. Senator, we're running late. We gave you a little extra time. I appreciate you coming. Thank you. Anyone else in the public wish to speak?
Good evening, Gary Tizano, Fairmont Avenue.
Good evening, Gary.
Hi, everybody. Doing a little research on the firefighting issue.
The mutual aid?
Mutual aid, yes, excuse me.
That's okay.
I found an article written, actually from 2018, by Brant DeBoer. It's titled "The Uncertain Fate of Volunteer Emergency Services." Quite enlightening. I mean, something that I didn't know anything about. Most of the article features, as an example, the township of Closter. and the issues they're going through to try and maintain their volunteer services. And it goes on and on. Some of the data is 300 of the 5,000 firefighters in our county are paid firefighters. Only 300. And those are the 4 towns, Hackensack, Teaneck, Ridgewood, and Englewood that are paid fire. Okay? It goes on to say that volunteer response times are slow and getting slower because of staffing. There's a gentleman by the name of Glenn Corbett, Associate Professor of Fire Science at John Jay College, who quotes, "Volunteer ranks are going down. There will be career departments ads." In other words, more and more of these communities are going to have to start to figure out if they're going to have to pay people to man the fire stations or even EMTs. It was a great thing years ago, kind of like clubs, to have the local fire departments because it actually incorporated a lot of camaraderie with families. The kegs of beer were flowing, the hamburgers were going, and it was a great source of community. Unfortunately, that had to change for those type of organizations because of the safety issue involved. If the fire alarm went off and the hamburgers and the beer had to be put down, what is the condition of the person that was going to go out? Anyway, before I run out of time, I heard about this so-called mutual aid blanket coverage for the whole county that the county's requiring. Not in favor of it. I'm more in favor of regionalizing the whole county and breaking it down because of time to get to the particular event, the fire. I think a lot of these communities that are now trying to grab gradables because they're putting up multiple height buildings cannot handle it, and therefore leaning on Hackensack and the paid fire that are trained properly to do this. Okay? I think you really should study it before we sign off on anything with the county. I know Paramus is going to put major development in. They don't have the quality people to do it. And last night, coming down Spring Valley by the Bergen Mall, Maywood was over the street helping Paramus on an office building with the ladder up. So there's a lot to consider before our government here signs off on that. There's a lot of monies. We should be compensated, equipment and such. So please study it and go through it. Okay, thank you very much.
Gary, just a quick response. We had many of the same concerns, and we got actually invited. We had the fire chief and the deputy fire chiefs here briefing us tonight to talk about it. Right now, the way to my understanding that it has been working for a number of years, that the city of Hackensack was involved in what they call it a battalion, but it's a group of just 6 towns, of which Hackensack is one. And those are the towns that Hackensack responds unless there's a catastrophic event, okay? And under this new agreement, those rules would remain in effect. So even though this countywide agreement is put together so everyone signs it at once, so there's not 70 different agreements, but the same battalions are still defined. So we would not be doing any more than we are currently doing, correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
Penny, that we would still be involved with the same 5 towns, one of which is Teaneck. They're right, the same, I don't remember them offhand. And, you know, when we need help, we also get help. And the statistics we received today, looking at over the last 5 years, we have received more help than we have given. So there's times when we also need help from the other towns. I know it's a difficult concept because we have a paid fire department and others do not have a paid fire department. But truly, this countywide agreement, from what I can see, is nothing more than paperwork. It's not changing how we did things in any way, shape, or form. So, for example, the way it was explained to us is that there's these 6 towns, so we would call, when we need help, we would call for these 6 other towns. And the only time we would go outside of those 6 other towns is if those 6 other towns already responded and we still needed more help. So that is going to remain in effect the way it was explained to us. So other towns will also not be calling Hackensack to come unless they were next on the list and they'd exhausted everyone already in their battalion, which would make it, I would say, a fairly major fire. Correct me, Vinnie, or anything to add?
Exactly
And I think in our it's important to note in our battalion, 4 of the 6 municipalities were also paid, if I'm correct, right?
Correct.
So it's almost like it was more fair because we were part of a battalion that our other paid fire. Because I wouldn't think it's fair if we're the only one in the battalion that's paid servicing 5 other municipalities.
Paramus is not in our battalion, by the way, just.
No.
Yeah, with the,
I'm sorry,
with the exception of Cresskill, who actually, believe it or not, has a paid fire department. The other paid professional services in Bergen are in our battalion.
Cresskill?
Cresskill is a paid fire.
They told us,
Are they career volunteer split, or is it a true?
I'm pretty sure the career, right?
Career.
Yeah, the whole department is career.
100%?
Yeah, they changed over a couple years back.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Bergenfield, I think,
Like a
is
skeletal crew.
a little different, but they have some paid firefighters as well.
Yeah, and Bergenfield is in our 6.
Yeah.
The 6
Yeah.
are, just so you know, it's Hackensack, Teaneck, Pagoda, Richfield Park, Bergenfield, and Englewood. So,
So
you know,
just
we
be
have,
the Park and Pagoda.
yeah, so we have really, the paid fire departments are in our same group or organization.
We have the largest, we have the best fire department.
Absolutely, without a doubt. In the state, I think, we're the #1 in the
The
state.
community supports them tremendously.
Yeah.
And, but we don't want to be spread too thin.
And that
Because
was,
of the redevelopment in our high-rise sector as
Councilman
well.
Pataglia brought that point up, is we want to protect our firemen as well. And the chief and the deputy fire chief also spoke volumes about how important this is to them. When they need the help, that they've been able to receive the help as well, so.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for bringing it up too.
Thank you.
Good, I can clarify a little, hopefully. Anyone else from the public?
My name is Juana Torad. I don't speak English. Maybe one person will help me please to translate.
You're up, Councilman Pataglia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, the problem that she really got, right, she explained to me before, is that the problem she got with the landlord. The landlord promised that he's gonna take care of all the issues that was in the apartment. And I was looking, let me see, yo estaba viendo que tú quieres salir to the lease.
Sí, porque
So the situation is that when she's really looking to get off from the lease, because of the conditions that she got in that particular apartment, the way she can continue. So if she can get off from the lease, she will drop the whole thing and get out. That is because right now the landlord promised to the building department that she's gonna take care of the issue, and he's not. So Jackie's gonna go tomorrow there, and he's gonna look at to see what is the real thing there.
It's, as far as getting out of the lease, Steve, that's something that you would need legal representation.
Yeah,
for.
I mean,
we can't get her out of the lease.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, but the city can force the landlord
to fix the issues, oh, absolutely.
But he don't do it.
Well, I mean, you know, there needs to be, someone needs to submit a formal complaint to,
They did.
you know, to the construction office.
That's done already.
I presume.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we would have to look into how that's being addressed. I mean, specific issues and disputes with her and the landlord, you know, we can't be involved with. All we can do is make sure that our property maintenance code is being fully complied with, and there are penalties for that, and to make sure, and I'm sure you'll do that, Vin, is to make sure that, you know, the concern has been reviewed and addressed.
We had building, health, and fire there the next day. I had them there. She can confirm that.
Yes,
right?
thank you.
We had them, I had them there right away. But evidently, from what I'm being told now, they have not followed up and those issues will still need to be resolved, so we'll take care of that tomorrow morning.
Okay, so
Thank you, Mr. Carlos.
what he's really doing is looking for help to try to terminate that lease and move to someplace else.
Yeah.
Because if the guy don't fix it, the apartment, and if the city in a way can force him to finish it, where's he gonna live?
But, you know, there is certainly, you know, there's Legal Services of New Jersey, and I believe some of them have like tenant hotlines where you can call and you can ask them about getting out of a lease. a lease is a contract. There's always provisions in a contract and then, ways you can dispute a contract. But again, you would need probably decent legal guidance to be able to tell you exactly how to do that. I mean, and it all depends also on the landlord's position, right? Does the landlord want to be, good to a tenant? Does the landlord want to work with a tenant to resolve an issue? Or does the landlord want to, to fight? And so, depending on your relationship, it's possible that, they may be willing to let you out of the lease. If not, you have to figure it out from there.
Tomorrow, Jackie will go there in person and double check the situation they are fighting. Yes. And I will call you. Yo te llamaré. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, and we'll certainly try to help you. Anyone else that wish to speak? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close to the public?
Offer.
Roll call.
Councilmember Rosenberg. Aye. Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Aye. Councilmember Chapman. Aye. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Can I have a motion to close the executive session?
Offer.
Roll call.
Councilmember Rosenberg. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman. Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
And then a motion to close the committee of the whole?
Offer.
Roll call.
Councilmember Rosenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be back at 8:30. Sorry for the delay, but I think it was worth, we had a lot of good presentations this evening.